Hello, everyone. So today I want to share with you um, just some of the healing journey, I guess, is the best way I can describe it. So I keep seeing online this trend about you in 2016, or I don't know. I don't even know what the full trend is. And I have honestly not taken a long time to look into it because 2016 was like the worst year for me. Like, it was a year of loss for me. And I remember leaving 2016 like, oh, it can never get worse than this. And I have to be honest, things have gotten worse in several different occasions over the years after 2016. But neither here nor there. Just 2016 was a big year of loss for me. Um, I was working as an instructor. I suddenly lost my job. The whole entire place closed. It was a lot of loss and a lot of grief. And looking back, honestly, a lot of the grief I was going through was grief of losing the life I thought I was supposed to have. So, growing up, everything is just, we're just so naive. Like when you're young and growing up, and I just thought life would be this storybook, like a Disney fairy tale. It would just go in order, everything would work out so great, everything would be fine. And as I've gotten older, I've come to realize life is not like that at all. Like, sure, there's some storybook things, but a lot of our life, we hinge on expectations of what we think life is supposed to be. But as I said in a previous video, like, you're only in control of yourself. You cannot control those around you, the people around you, the tragedies that happen around you, the unexpected. You cannot control it. And simply, all you have control over is your response to it. And depending on how you respond, you are energetically creating, alchemizing the life that you want. So if you're responding to the chaos with chaos and drama, you're calling in more chaos and drama. And then it's like compounding. Yeah, you're compounding and alchemizing chaos and drama in your life. And then the best way I can equate it or relate it is, when you are running late to work and you spill your coffee on the way out the door, and then you're already upset, but you have to go, and you end up hitting every red light, and it's just like not your day, and you just feel like, oh, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Like, that is a perfect or prime example of alchemizing energy, right? So you got into an energy of drama or disasters happening, and you just stayed stuck in that energy, and you called in more of it throughout the day, and that's all you noticed was that energy. So anyways, back to 2016. It was probably not like the first time rough things happened, but I do feel like in 2016, it was a compound of all of it. And like, it was like the whole year, just compounding and compounding and compounding. And it was really hard, like a really hard year. And after 2016, I would say that my response began to become one of freezing and fawning and not knowing what to do. And this is like a pile of so many different things. Perfectionism, always being the good girl, always being the one who doesn't talk back, always like the expectation of being a perfect wife, a perfect daughter, a perfect mom, all of this. And I have to go back a little bit farther back past 2016. I don't remember the year, but I had learned in therapy once before. I had a therapist tell me, well, you just really didn't mess up a lot as a kid, so you have a hard time dealing with perfectionism. And she recommended that to combat that, to jump out of my bubble a little bit. So like if I'm at a restaurant to order something I might not typically order, or to try something new, and to be okay with the results. If it's like not good, like I would simply have to say like, okay, well, I'm learning and it's okay. I learned that I didn't like that. Like, so that was something in my toolbox from way before 2016. But can I say that I used it a lot or not? Not really. Like I am someone who, like I said, when I was younger, I didn't like to mess up. I didn't mess up a lot. I always tried to be the good girl, the people pleaser, the one who's doing it all for everyone all the time. Oh, being a tiny little girl. Oh, she's going to be such a good mama. And, it's common for girls to fall into this, especially firstborns. So, needless to say, in 2016, I feel like that is a marker year for me that I feel like my entire life imploded. And I wish I could say that in 2016, my life imploded and I just started rebuilding it. But instead, I didn't understand how energy works. I didn't understand how manifesting works. I didn't understand any of it. And I was drowning, like drowning. The things that happened were devastating. Losing my job suddenly and trying to take care of a toddler, devastating. And I just strapped on my survival boots and did what I had to. And before you know it, one day bled into another, bled into another, bled into another, and years just got away from me. And, you don't know what you don't know. You can't be upset for choosing what you choose when you don't have the tools to choose different. Like these life experiences are what teach you how to cope and react and do better and to respond better. Like without the mistakes, you can't always get the right answer. So needless to say, I would say that year was a falling apart of sorts, but it was also the beginning of healing in a long, long, long healing journey. And healing is not linear. So as you begin to heal, sometimes you take 1 step forward and 5 steps backwards and 2 steps forward and 10 steps backwards. But that is part of the process. So years later, it's closer to COVID time. I'd lost a few other jobs, crashed a few cars, I say crashed a few cars because I was like connected to some of my jobs. So in the loss of some jobs, I started driving Uber and I ended up totaling a car. After the shooting that happened in Vegas, I was driving that day, and after that experience, I had some trauma from like hearing the sirens and stuff. So I ended up experiencing a car accident because of like, I don't know, PTSD from hearing the sirens. I reacted one way and the other car, the bus didn't see me and ended up hitting me. And so needless to say, like these crazy life events just were piling up one after the other. And I was treading water, just surviving the day. And I came to this one job. It was probably in 2019 when I started asking others these questions, maybe 2020. It was before the shutdown, but I don't know how long before. And I was just contemplating, like, there has to be more to life. There has to be more to this. There has to be a better way. And I could not figure it out. So I started asking people, like, how do you heal? How do you cope? How do you handle this, like, life happening? How do you handle it? And you know what I learned in my exploring and asking others? I mean, it sounds weird to ask your coworkers these questions, but like, those were the only people I had interaction with outside of my house. And so coworkers became my sounding board, I guess. And I started to learn and realize no one knows how to handle it. Like, we all encounter life's hardships, and obviously it's individual to each person, like being able to learn how to heal. Things that may work fantastic for one might not work for another. But needless to say, among the people I was working with, like, the answers I was getting were so lacking. Nobody had an answer, which only made me more curious. Like, okay, so if nobody here knows how to heal, like, what are we doing? We're just walking around in society, all broken people, and what? We're going to be okay with that? Like, I can't live like this anymore. It's 2016 to like 2020, so that's already 4 years, and it's just piling on, and I couldn't take it anymore. It was very hard. And I, divine timing, I started meeting people who started telling me. And honestly, the things I was learning were like so silly sounding and so simple. I was like, are you serious? Like, that cannot be real. But what I will say in that journey, the things I was hearing started to repeat. Like, one person told me that you should do this practice where you write down what's bothering you. It can be anything in life that's bothering you. It could be from when you were 5. It could be from last week. It could be from today. You write down what's bothering you. Let it all out. Don't care if it makes sense. Just write it out. Write from start to finish. Keep writing, keep writing. Every emotion, how you felt in that moment, what you saw, what you were wearing, as much as you can remember, write it all down. And then once you're done, sit with it, place your hand on your chest, say, I forgive you, I love you, thank you, and I'm sorry. And you're saying that to yourself, and just taking the practice of saying, I forgive you, I love you, thank you, and I'm sorry. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you've gone nutso-wutso over here. Like, how in the world is that going to do anything? How is it going to help? But like I said, I was desperate. I had for years at that point in time tried to let go, and I had gotten in this energy of chaos and just calling in more chaos into my life. Every time there was a disaster, then another disaster happened, and I just couldn't breathe. I was just drowning. And so I tried it. I said, okay, that's interesting. And then a few weeks later, I encountered a different person, and the same practice came up. And I'm like, okay, I see you. I'll try it again. Tried it. Okay, that helped a little. And then I'm listening to podcasts, and I hear the same practice. Now, they may have coded it a little different here and there. They may have not straight up just said it, but the same practice from several different people. And I'm like, okay, if several different people all over the place are talking about this and saying this, then there must be some truth to it. So I started taking those little journeys. I started practicing a little more self-care. Not anything serious. Like, honestly, simple as I'm going to wash my face every night. or I'm going to add this into my brushing my teeth routine. But making those things of self-care non-negotiable, like have to do it. And as I started healing there, I started to realize that it is my energy. That if I am acting out of chaos, then the chaos is responding to me. And that I need to hone in on that energy and redirect inside. And as soon as I started to actually think about what is happening in here, my thoughts is coming out here. Thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. So I started to think, okay, if I am always thinking on, oh, poor me, why is this happening to me? How can this happen to me? Oh my gosh. And I'm just the victim, then of course everything is going to happen to me. But as soon as I shifted that thinking to saying, hold on, I can't take this anymore. I am in control of my own life. If I don't like this happening in my life, how can I change it? Because this person over here, Sally Sue over here, is not going to even care when she is 10 years from now or even tomorrow. She's not going to care about my life like I care about my life. So I had to start acknowledging and taking radical responsibility that the victim situation I was currently living in was caused by me as well, and that I needed to change what was up here to be able to change what's out here. And so I started taking radical responsibility for my response. And sometimes all that looked like was not responding. Something happened, drama out here happened, and it made me upset. But I realized, hey, that drama that's happening has nothing to do with me. It is only happening to get me to react, to keep me in this same cycle. And I carry on without reacting because it has nothing to do with me. As soon as I took that step, everything started to change. Everything started to dissipate. Everything started to get easier. And when I tell you, your mindset creates your reality. Your perception is your reality. So when we have the perception that everything is happening to us, that's the truth. It is happening to you. But if you have the perception that you are in control of everything and everything is responding to you, then that is also true. You have control and everything can respond to you. So I know that this got a little bit long. These are topics that I could talk on all day, things I want to share with you. I want to dig more into because healing is not a one-stop shop. Growth is never a one-stop place. We are always growing. We are always learning. We are always refining our practices. But I do want to put this out there to share with somebody who might be looking, because honestly, I wish that I had heard something like this sooner. Like, I know, looking back, I know I wasn't ready to hear it. I heard it in the perfect timing, because that is how life goes. Everything happens in its perfect, miraculous moment. But I wasted so much time, and I wish I knew sooner that there is ways to move out of that victim energy. And I don't want that for you. So that's my talk for the day. Hope you have a great day. If you're not following, please follow. And if you want to find me anywhere else, you can reach out to me at herglowandgrow.com. I'm Olivia. Nice to see you. Thank you.